guys, welcome to Steven Universe, the Crystal Man. It's me, Jennifer Coolidge. That was way worse than the last time.
No, we're keeping it. It's me, Lorelai Gilmore.
Hi, we are the Crystal Men. I'm Tom.
I'm Jim.
And we are talking about episode 43 of Steven Universe, Maximum Capacity, which we were waiting for this episode for a while. We had no idea when it came, but...
Oh, and it came, all right.
We got a lot to talk about.
So, I want to point out, it was something that was so obvious while watching it, but I like to confirm it.
That they fucked?
Rebecca Sugar was storyboarded some of this. Because
okay, that makes sense.
To me, the scene in question, like, we'll get to it. I don't want to harp on it already, but you can just feel Rebecca.
You could feel the...
in that scene. Like, they have such a specific style of, like, drawing humans, and even the Greg design in this episode, he was very tall, which I feel like Rebecca's does that a lot.
And there was a couple like instances where he was very animated, and I don't know, like when he jumped backwards, you could just kind of see it in the actual character. That it was some good old fashioned sugar.
So yeah, this is the iconic episode where Steven sees his mom for the first time
in the worst possible way.
So we begin in media res, as every media is resing. We have we have our character Steven and his dad, Greg. They're walking with so what does Steven have? Does Steven have anything? I think Greg just has.
I think Steven.
Oh, it's the hose.
Oh yeah, that's right, little hose.
So they got shit.
Okay, first off, that is a tiny hose, not big enough to wash any cars with.
Yeah.
I have to assume it was for the car wash.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I wonder if they actually used that hose in a different one. But anyway, regardless, with a giant Greg sign that just is...
Summer wax or something.
Truly awful. But, all right, would you get a life-sized sign of yourself?
No.
You wouldn't do that?
No, I would hate it.
I would absolutely get one of you and just put it places.
I know you would.
Just in the bathroom.
It would be very funny in the bathroom. No, I would hate it too much. I'd be like, ew, why are you looking at me?
You freak.
There was this old YouTuber that I used to really like who is crazy now and has been always crazy, but they had a life-size, it was like an Arab man. It was, but they always called it the elated Arab gentleman because he was very nicely dressed but very happy and smiley.
Oh, well, that sounds pleasant.
But I love that it was always in the corner of their room.
Huh.
The elated Arab man. But yes,
I bet you could buy that.
Probably.
Anywho, the episode.
So yeah, the whole setup is it's New Year's. Is it New Year's?
It's New Year's Eve at the time.
It is New Year's Eve. Okay, so they have their fireworks on New Year's Day,
which is weird. Yeah,
that doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense to me either, because he says it's New Year's Day. The next day.
Unless I misheard and he says tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
Maybe I don't think he did. I think he said like it's New Year's Eve. I don't know. Regardless, they are storing...
The wiki doesn't even mention it, so...
They're storing fake Greg in his storage unit, and of course that thing, much like all of the things that Greg owns, is disgusting and dilapidated and just filled with junk.
So one little detail that I think is kind of interesting, near the end of the episode when our characters, Pearl and Garnet, the real responsible adults...
The real G's.
When they go and clean up with Amethyst... Greg is like embarrassed about the state of it, like to Pearl. He's like, sorry, implying that like these are a lot of like Rose's things as well, and that
which would make sense.
Yeah, like Pearl might be like upset about them being like hoarded and in bad condition and
just thrown around. Also, at the end, I didn't see a single power outlet, yet they were watching TV in there. So
it's one of those crank TVs where you. Well, you didn't see Little Butler. Well, they have Game Boys that do that. Well, they have like handheld consoles that do that.
Okay, so we'll just assume that's what the case was.
There probably was some crank TV. Their Little Butler was behind the TV cranking it the whole time.
He was running on a little hamster wheel.
Yeah.
So no, they go in and Greg's like, "Oh, Stu, I gotta clean this." And so they commit to a nice little activity of cleaning together. I think they were supposed to watch a movie beforehand or a TV show because he was like, "What's your favorite, Dad?"
Oh no, I think they were gonna watch. I thought they were talking about watching home movies.
Was it home movies?
I forget.
I don't know. Anyway,
This once again,
we are going
the
on
wiki does
wild
not
tangents.
specify. We are 2 seconds into this episode.
So they go in, and yeah, it's a mess. So they commit to cleaning it, and Steven's like, I know just the person, and brings Amethyst.
It's a very interesting call from Steven here.
Yeah, kind of an L take from Steven, but
I guess his mind is like, oh well, Amethyst lives in trash, so she'll be.
well, he specified that
Fun
he
to
doesn't
hang out
want to
with.
show Pearl this.
That's true
because
actually,
it's
yeah.
that bad. But Amethyst is just not a help at all, and this episode really highlights like some of her big character flaws. She is such an enabler to bad behavior, and like I feel like everybody has a person like this in their life that it's just when I'm around you, it's true.
I'm pointing at Tom.
It's true. I bring out the absolute worst in Jimmy.
Tom is always bringing like hard drugs over and making me do it.
Right before this, we just did a line of cocaine.
That's why we're so
totally
high energy. Can you imagine like, oh, it's the only way I can get through the podcast.
Yeah. The only...
I can't do it without my.
It's too much, man. No, but yeah, Amethyst brings out the worst in people in some instances. I mean, especially earlier on. You know,
Yeah.
she obviously gets a lot better throughout the series, but like, there's been people in my life that I'm like, yeah, when I'm around you, I don't necessarily like who I am.
Yeah.
Like, I tend to just act worse, or there's things that like maybe I say or do that I'm like, hey, I don't want to be like that.
Get a little loose with your language. I'm
Oh
kidding.
my God, I say all kinds of slurs. You wouldn't believe.
That is not the slurs, but it is true. Like they're like you will code switch, not you, but like I mean in general, I'll do it too. You'll have groups of friends that speak,
Yeah, you would.
like you curse more, curse less.
You
like-
adapt to your audience
Yeah.
and your group. And I noticed that with like, there's certain groups of people that I've been around in the past that like just like to talk negatively about like everybody and
yeah.
everything, and I'm like, I don't really enjoy that, you know? Like,
Yeah.
you know, a little gossip's fine, but like when that's just all the conversation is all the time. So those kinds of people I have cut out of my life, and I recommend you guys to seriously evaluate if you're thinking of anybody right now.
I feel like I'm thinking about myself.
Well, I don't think that's true, but
I feel like I'm a gossipy bitch.
no. I mean, there's a difference between like gossipy and like all I do is bring down other
That's
people.
true. Yeah.
I had a friend in high school who was really particularly just like everybody had a problem with everything and everybody, and it was like all negative all the time.
Yeah. No. And I think like this is just incredible character work.
Yeah.
I think it's just like
We're getting this from just mixed dialogue throughout too.
yeah,
like,
and thinking about how we just had Amethyst in the kindergarten, we already have this like feeling of, at least me, I'm bringing in this feeling of connection to Amethyst. Like Amethyst is this like really flawed character.
Yeah.
She feels really out of place, and
I think that's the big thing. She feels out of place, and she latches onto like old connections that she had, and this episode kind of really showcases that she's looking for a friend on her end. But
and it's that classic like I think this is like incredible. I love Amethyst so much in this episode just because she is this really negative force. She's got like self-hatred, which is she's turning that into like tearing others down
yeah,
in like very specific ways. The way that I see it is she's almost bringing Greg down to her level.
yes, yeah,
In this, where
throughout
it's
the
like-
entire episode.
Greg has issues with her and in the past, and it's weird because he seems like weirdly mature about it.
Yeah.
I will say almost out of character.
Yes, it was a little surprising this episode. I mean, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves a little
Yeah,
bit. So
I'm just really fixated on Amethyst right now. But yeah, so
Amethyst comes in, and she's being no help to actually getting rid of stuff. Also have had people like this. I am so much like a declutterer, but some people just don't want to get rid of things. And so they have Steven made little like save, sell, and burn box, which I
Yeah.
do love.
yeah, like Steven is the one really propelling things forward.
Which kind of showcases Steven promotes healthy growth in everybody.
He does, but I want to point out a really good little thing at the end. We'll touch on it at the end, but I feel like Steven is like now he's doing this thing all the time where he's putting others before himself.
No, to the detriment of himself for sure.
Yeah.
But I think kind of since that trials episode really showcased it, that he's willing to take on others' suffering, but we'll see consequences
Yeah.
for that later. But yeah, Amethyst just wants to save everything and is actually annoying Greg,
Yeah.
like early on, he's like, knock it off, Amethyst. Steve.
Connie.
Connie. We were laughing at our own joke.
Yeah, this is bad. So all right. One little joke I really like. Steven finds books. I love this change in Steven so much.
Now
Him
that
being
he
a reader.
is banned from TV, it's so healthy for him though. Read books more, people.
It is. I know. I need to read more. I actually just started reading Fight Club recently.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
pretty good so far.
Thought about reading the actual book, but
It's really neat. I've never seen the movie, and I never will. But
yeah.
I really like this little gag where they kind of imply that Greg might have porn.
Yeah.
Because Steven's like, books, and Greg like runs over really quick.
He's very embarrassed. And also, okay, so throughout the episode, I know it's not actually the case, but there is kind of this subtext, and I think it's trying to mirror like a previous relationship that you're now friends with that person, but it's weird because Amethyst straight off is like, "Don't worry, Greg, I've seen your junk before."
Yeah, that's a line. Yeah,
like
exactly.
and the whole episode kind of just gives the feeling of like falling back into a bad relationship.
Yeah.
And
which is why it really feels so like personal from like specifically Rebecca's like.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't like attest. I know that they've made a lot of music recently about like the really tumultuous time when they were in I forget what school they went to in New York. I think it's like New York Institute of Animation or something. But that's where they met like Ian Jones Cordy and but
it's definitely coming from a place of experience.
Yeah, I know that Rebecca's talked about like, you know, your 20s, tumultuous relationships, all that stuff. So I really like that they're using this like Amethyst and Greg as like a metaphor for that.
Yeah, it's a giant metaphor, exactly.
It works in a way that like you would not expect a show like a kid's cartoon to make you feel uncomfortable in this way.
Yeah, and it feels uncomfortable. That is a great way of showcasing it. It feels very uncomfortable throughout the episode.
I know that you have not seen it, but there's an episode of Adventure Time, probably one of the worst ones, called Breezy. And it's like, so the whole thing of Adventure Time is that it's this it's this really wacky world of there's all these weird little characters who are like, I'm like the Ice King, I'm the hot dog princess, I'm Bubba Princess. There's like a million princesses. And there's this episode where Finn, the main character, he's like a teenager now, kind of, he's like on like supposed to be going through puberty, whatever. And he goes around like kissing all the princesses, but it's like a smooch. It's always just like a smooch, but it's like implied to be like more. And it just feels like really upsetting and clumsy because we're using like a child character. Like Finn starts as like a child. And then it just feels really inappropriate, at least in terms of like what lesson they're trying to communicate. But with this, you're getting Greg, who's an adult man, who's like basically a widow.
Yeah.
a widower.
I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, they never got officially married, but like.
And he has this like immense pain from this relationship, and you have like Amethyst coming in and being sort of this kind of like loose metaphor for either like a past relationship or even like
falling back into old habits.
Yeah, because like I also think of it too as like, to me this feels a lot like I could see Greg going into like a post what's her name?
Not Clarity.
No, the opposite. When Rose Quartz dies, like of depression. Like I could see him going into depression, and then Amethyst and him using this little butler show as coping.
Yeah.
But that's where we see like Greg is kind of trying to identify it, but still falls into it. But yeah, that's why I like it. Like Greg lapses, like
but it feels like a lapse, exactly.
But so yeah, they keep going around. They're cleaning up, and they find Amethyst finds them. They're Lil Butler, which is what a very strange kind of like.
It gives a lot of classic 90s late 80s sitcoms. I think it's most like The Nanny.
Yes, it's.
But also with child stars like from, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a really classic young child sitcom.
Like
it gives
House.
Everything. Yeah,
like
it's
a Full
a
House,
bit of
like a kind of. I think I forget the name of it, but there's one. I feel like it's really parodying one theme song in particular. I think it's All in the Family, but it has the same kind of like the do 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 do. It has like this very similar kind of
Facts
like
of Life. You're thinking
Facts of Life. Yes, thank you. It is Facts of Life.
Take the good, take the bad.
Yes, it's very much parodying Facts of Life. I don't really know. My knowledge of sitcoms is like
it's literally just a fusion of everything. And also,
the plot is very weird.
Well, okay, let me just say, 90s sitcoms really hyped up how common it was to have a butler. Everyone had a butler. Fresh Prince,
They did have
butler,
Jeffrey, yeah.
like just I don't know.
Okay, wait, name one other one.
The Nanny.
Okay, I've never seen The Nanny, but I'm pretty aware of it.
Butler. I'm trying to think.
Okay, you got 2.
Okay, I got 2, so maybe it was only the 2. But
Yeah.
no, there was at least a couple that had butlers, and I'm like,
I guess it's just kind of like a
people
fun
have,
character. It's a fun character to throw
yeah,
into a situation.
and they were always the sassy commenter on what's going on.
Yeah, like, oh, it's almost kind of like the jester that can tell the truth to the king.
Yes.
That's kind of what Jeffrey's character is. Like, he's always got like his little like sassiness, but not really like going above and beyond. But so yeah, it's this sitcom where it's about a baby butler who gets dropped off, like baby swaddled,
actual baby
swaddled, like wrapped in
that they forced to be their butler.
Yeah, basically, yeah, a child, and it's funny because it's not very evident that it's a child until it talks.
But no,
it has
it's
a
a child.
child's voice, and the catchphrase is like,
Also, he's driving.
oh yeah, but the catchphrase is like, "You people are too rich," which I think works really well as like a sitcom within a cartoon.
Yeah,
because like it's not a real. It just I don't know. I think all this stuff works really well, especially
it's just funny. It's
growing up with like all these sitcoms, like kind of the ending of the heyday of sitcoms. Like,
yeah.
I feel like you can really grasp a lot, and you really see a lot of the writers.
Yeah, the writers clearly had some fun with it, but Amethyst and Greg start like getting obsessed with it and rewatching everything, and yeah, this is kind of the moment where they fall back into their old ways. And Steven's like, "Hey, also Steven, very good boy, still grounded." And
Steven's
takes that
such a good boy.
very seriously.
I love that he watches the theme song and like feels himself being sucked
Yeah,
in.
he's like, no!
So he like forcibly turns around and covers it. He always is covering his eyes whenever the TV's on. It's so sweet, but it's also funny in a way of like, it's also just like a very clear metaphor about like innocence and like shielding yourself from the truth and like
yeah.
It's funny because like Steven is this character who's like taking on a lot of burdens, but he's like very young and he's still very innocent. He's not able.
He still has this childlike
Yeah.
innocence, and also, so they start watching it, and Steven's like, aren't we focusing on cleaning up? Which, again, a whole other metaphor with them cleaning up the storage unit is, moving on from the past.
Yeah, processing.
Yeah, processing and putting the past away. And so they're. God bless you.
My dog just. I saw her winding that sneeze up.
It was a
It's
good
okay,
sneeze.
sweet girl. She sneezes.
I was rubbing her snout.
She's sneezing. Oh, it's okay, puppy daughter.
Yeah, like moving on from the past, and they're still stuck in it. So Steven leaves and was like, all right, like we'll pick it up tomorrow. And then we get Jimmy's favorite character.
PB has lines.
We really thought that was gonna be.
PB kind of has character in this episode. PB is like
He talked more this episode than I think he did the last like 5 appearances.
PB's given this weird, almost like obsessive compulsive sort of angle in this, where he's like, they have a joke about him like,
I like to clean 3 times.
yeah, like he's like cleaning more than he needs to because 3 feels like a clean number, and like he likes the blue ones. Like there's also just like talking about fireworks, all the fireworks tonight, but there's just like,
what's going on with you, PB?
Yeah,
like, we're getting a lot of information for no reason about
Ronaldo. Yeah, like they could have just used Ronaldo.
Gunny.
But so yeah, and Steven brings hash browns because he's like, all right, which I like
that.
And
also, so Steven like normally gets the bits, which I always assumed were just free, like we're not gonna use them, so here. But like he gets hash browns this time and does not pay.
Yeah, do you think he's got like a huge tab?
A massive tab.
He's basically like the first 3 years of employment for him.
100%. They're like, you're gonna have to work
garnished. Here. Yeah, like they just garnish his wages.
You're not going to college. You're working at the fry shop. But yeah, so he goes back and they literally stayed up all night watching this show.
Yeah. Which I will say, Greg is an older gentleman.
I could not. My God.
I even if it was my favorite, even if it was like new season of my favorite show, like new season of like Night of the Seven Kingdoms comes out, like I would my ass would be passing out.
What was the last like all-nighter that you can remember taking? Like
all-nighter.
I'll tell you mine. It was when Monster Hunter Tri came out for the Wii. Me and my friend stayed up the entire night, like well into like I went to bed I think at 1 p.m. the next day, and we were just playing the whole time. I'm like, wow, I don't remember like the sun coming up.
I actually don't even know if I've ever really done a proper one.
Really?
Aside from like for high school when we graduated, they have like the project graduation thing where
Yeah, which I
you
mean,
stay up all night and go to a Dave and Buster's. But even then, I still like think I fell asleep.
it's to get you to not drink.
Basically, yeah. Honestly, kind of a genius idea.
No, it's a great idea. I mean, it's keep everybody safe by having a
Forcing them.
solicited party. Yeah.
But so no, I don't know. I mean, like definitely times playing like Halo, probably Halo 3 back in the day.
So like high school. I think it's all high school era. Yeah.
Yeah, the idea of trying to do it now
I think
without
I would die.
coffee. And now that I'm an old man, if I had a cup of coffee after like 5 p.m., then I might do it against my own will, but it will be miserable.
I can have a cup of coffee at like 9 p.m. and still fall asleep. It's just
That's crazy. I wish.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It's I hate it.
So Steven and Amethyst and Greg and Connie.
He goes to deliver the hash browns. They're still watching. He's like, guys, all right, like I'll see you at the fireworks that are on New Year's Day.
Like this is like another full day.
Yeah, so they have not slept.
Yeah.
In more than 24 like 30 something hours because regardless,
unless they're taking like micro nap. Well, we know Amethyst doesn't need to,
but Greg's
probably like, he's dreaming about little Butler finishing
him off
dishes. Finishing him off. Oh, we did get a little we got a little gag about his uncle having a deed.
He's like, the deed to my uncle's mansion?
Yeah.
Which, that is true. Setting the stage they already set the stage that his uncle's rich because they've been to the barn.
Yeah.
But
even more so, like implying, he's the one that's gonna like
fund this.
Yeah, like he'll be getting Greg will be getting the money.
Yeah. So Steven goes to the fireworks with Garnet and Pearl. Pearl in the sweater that Steven took from Greg's storage unit. Very cute. I gotta say that was one of her cutest moments. I think
she has an oversized sweater, and then also
something about an oversized sweater.
She's holding like a Pyrex because they bring pots and pans to hit, and she's like
a small wooden spoon,
it.
and a piece of glass,
and she's like lightly tapping it, and then Garnet.
I love when the gems embrace human culture.
It's very cute,
and they're like, I know nothing about this, but this would make Steven happy. So like,
it's very cute. Yeah,
like I don't know if they register New Year's, but. It's a big deal for humans.
And you want to imagine that they like it too. Like
I think you would like experiencing these kinds of things.
And I think it's kind of the thing of like parents and children too, where it's like you kind of get to re-experience
some childlike wonder over your...
and that's kind of what Pearl's getting like a little bit of giddiness out of.
Yeah, she was blushing. She was like, is it okay? It was a very cute moment with the three of them. I know we only got a little bit of them this episode, but Garnet and Pearl were just real homies this episode.
Mm-hmm. So
Steven goes back after he goes back after the fireworks,
and then
because Garnet and Pearl said that, or Pearl said that
they dropped the lore here that like they would just they'd watch that show forever, and then they just stopped.
And it's like,
why did they stop? We're about to find out.
So Steven goes back, and here's where we get the moment. This whole big episode building up to it.
So they kind of give Greg an out here by being the one to acknowledge that it's Steven's not the one saying like, hey, you fucked up. It's him being like, oh no, I fucked up here. Like he hears the fireworks and it's like, shit, I missed them. Like, and then Amethyst is like, so play by play. She's like, oh come on, like you don't want to see those, but he's like,
like who cares?
He's like, who cares? It's Steven. And then he's like, but I wanted to be with Steven. Like, this was
I need
my
to be there
wish
for my son. And she's at first she was kind of making fun of Steven, basically being like, no, here, like I'll just do it real fast so we can go back.
She shapeshifts to Steven. And then, like, does a pretty good imitation of his laugh, which I really like. The voice actress for Amethyst always does, like, little
good
impressions. But, and then, we see Greg really uncomfortable. He's like, you know how I feel about shapeshifting.
Which is, some weird lore that we never kind of got before.
And it's really interesting, too, because, like, for this whole time we've known Greg, we see him as, like, very arm's length from the gems. He doesn't like the magic stuff. It scares him. It's weird.
Yeah.
And then this is him, like, clearly there was a time in the past where this happened and it made him very uncomfortable.
And like clearly there's a very storied history between him and Amethyst too. Again, I really do think this whole thing's just a metaphor for like a past relationship. I mean, it really goes to appear like they've been together before almost. Like it's very I I don't know how else to describe it other than like, yeah, it seems like you're like hanging out with your ex. Like,
Yeah, it's like you know how to hurt someone in like the most
yeah,
perfect
intimate
way.
ways. Yeah. But
It's one detail. I fucking love this scene so much. The lighting is amazing. Something that's cool too is the lighting is they do that thing where like it's like lower contrast, so the characters have different colors.
yeah.
But because of that, it's not as clear when you look at Amethyst as Steven that it's Amethyst. Like it looks like Steven to us because it's mostly just purples coming
Yes,
from
yeah,
the light.
from the actual shading.
And then we see, or so she puts another episode on, and I like this detail. It's like, oh, it's the Hawaii two-parter, which is such like a fucking Full House.
That is literally, yeah, every sitcom had a Hawaii episode.
So they could go on vacation, basically. But then, yeah.
Greg's like, no, like, I don't like this. And then I forget how it transitions.
So
exactly.
she basically says, like, oh, you'd do it with her.
Oh,
I bet if
right.
it was with her.
I used to have somebody that made me like feel included. But,
yeah.
And then he's like, no, don't you dare. Like, this is the most
no, like
straightforward opposing. Yeah, literally, like Greg has really put his foot down on this, which is surprising. Also, real fast, I did make a point earlier when he had the box of books. I was just surprised that Greg could read, regardless. So,
you were holding that on for a while.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah, and Greg's like, don't you dare, like, and then we get the moment where
this is so fucking amazing. So
good.
She shapeshifts into Rose Quartz. We don't see the face.
Nope.
Which is so cool.
Such a great way of doing it because Greg instantly turns around and cowers, like, and you could see tears in his eyes.
The cowering and the way he hunches over this is like the Rebecca Sugarness of it.
Yes,
like,
this is where it becomes this emotional punch. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just fucking amazing. Like this horrible scene where he's trying to like tell her to stop, like this is not cool. And she's taunting him basically and like almost playing as Rose Quartz.
Yeah.
And then we have Steven jump in, and then that's when we actually see like the Amethyst Rose face.
Yeah, he's like, what are you guys doing? And yeah, she looks shocked and then instantly changes back to Amethyst. But that's
it's heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. It's, he was never supposed to see that.
Yeah.
At least, from Amethyst's point of view. But Steven, in a very,
stuffs it down,
and he has some real, emotional intelligence. I guess he's like, listen, I know, like, the past is hard. The past, there's a lot of stuff that you don't want to deal with and don't want to address because it's difficult, but fuck, guys, like, move on.
I love this so much. I feel like, especially as a kid, I can relate to I was Steven in this scene so many times in my life where like you just don't understand why people have such hard feelings towards each other, and it's just like I don't have the context for it, which means that it means nothing basically. Yeah. Like, get over it. Like, this
I love
is
you
nothing.
both, but
like, we're not moving forward, which is ultimately like another thing I feel too. Like there's just no benefit to keeping all the luggage here. That's like the episode title.
Yeah.
Maximum capacity. Like, they were both like,
it's quite literally, yeah, just full,
holding on to all this baggage, this emotional luggage, and not processing it. And I will say that it's almost kind of like a upsetting ending because like you can argue that maybe Greg doesn't really have a chance. They kind of both don't have a chance to like,
so I mean,
actually unpack it.
Amethyst runs away, like does not directly. And that's one of, again, her key character flaws. She's not able to process her emotions and have an actual conversation with people right now. Any type of adversity or challenge to how she's feeling, she just shuts it down and runs away.
Yeah, she cannot be vulnerable.
Yeah, or yells and then runs away. But I mean, it's a common theme of her just leaving instead of dealing with something. But then Greg kind of has some maturity and is like, all right, Steven, yeah, like let's work on this together. Like the next day we'll go over and we'll finish the, decluttering and, moving on from all of my past stuff. And he gets there and Garnet and Pearl have already done it. Pearl, real G, she was having a field day just doing this.
This is her best dream.
She loved this. Like, that's just a sick way to start the New Year's for Pearl.
Yeah, right.
But they had already finished it, yeah.
And also, so a couple things too, like we already mentioned like how Greg was like embarrassed about it. I kind of wish we saw like a scene of Pearl,
Get, like almost like a flare of like
yes, like because I mean, clearly there were like Rose's things here.
Yeah, I mean there was we didn't address it, but there was a picture of Greg and Rose Quartz that was shattered, like it got broken.
And it's actually a hilarious illustration of Greg. He's got a big hot dog coming out of
very
like,
funny.
He's like a fish on the line or something. It's really funny.
But yeah, no, apparently Amethyst asked them to help. And like that's the thing, she processed it in her own way.
Avoidant way,
yeah. And
of like, okay, well, this needs to get done, so
this is how I can make it right
done.
without actually talking to Greg. But did do a nice thing. I really do think that's an incorrect way to deal with things, but she thought it was a good gesture. And bought him a new frame for the picture of him and Rose. And so Greg's like, "Thank you," and she's all embarrassed. And, it's a nice moment, and it's very much like a no hard feelings kind of moment. Yeah, like
but
we're
at the
still
end of the
friends.
day,
It's still very immature.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like what I'm wanting now is like more growth from Amethyst, and not to say that this is bad. Like, I think this episode's amazing. I think that it's putting us on a path right now where we want to be a little dissatisfied with Amethyst.
Not every resolution has to happen in that 10-minute period.
Yeah, which is very realistic.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like we're okay, like I forgive you for this instant, but we have things to deal with. And I think that's just true in any relationship. You're like, I can peg this, like I can move on from it right now, but I'll peg.
You can peg this?
Oh god, yeah. No, and it's funny though, like we never really get a direct Greg and Amethyst resolution.
That's what I was thinking about.
We get a direct Greg and Pearl resolution later, and we haven't even really showcased their issues yet.
Yeah.
We'll get plenty of episodes on that later, but with Amethyst, I feel like it's just kind of this really was the Greg Amethyst episode, and then
Singular.
I don't think there's any follow up.
It's really a shame, and maybe we'll be surprised pleasantly, but probably not because you have better memory for the series than I do. But the thing that little detail that we didn't really talk about is that Amethyst herself had this connection to Rose that we didn't really
explore.
Yeah. So this is a big thing of her saying like the Amethyst's whole character, she's all alone, and then you have this her connection with Rose is like the one thing that like really brought her into the family. And we're not processing. She's like not, we're just not seeing that.
And I'm sure to an extent she blames Greg.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I mean, she kind of makes it clear this episode. She's like, "Yeah, you took that away from me."
Yeah.
But doesn't know how to really.
Where it's like ultimately like it's such a shame she feels away because like it was Rose's choice.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. There's so much nuance and intricacy to it, but.
That's why it's such a great episode. It's just like
so much packed into such a short amount of time. Like I know we say that for a lot of like the big Wham episodes, but this was just a great episode to really explore some complex issues between people and like related to, how the audience might feel about certain things, and then B, just get great character development in like a very few amount of lines.
I think it's definitely a top fiver for me so far.
I think so too. I
think it would be higher if it had. So I keep thinking of the Steven. I think it's Lion 3, another videotape episode, where Steven goes inside the lion.
Oh yeah, baby.
Connie. Something about that episode felt like there was no fat on it at all.
Yeah, like, perfectly trimmed
it went
every scene
and
had
I was
a purpose.
Captivated for 11 and a half minutes or whatever.
I think that's the kind of perfect Steven Universe episode.
Yeah, this episode I was like, there are moments where it like eclipses that in my opinion. Like some of the character writing here I think is like it's just so fun. Like I just want to be in this world with these characters. I just want to learn more about them and put them together. I remember being a little kid and like playing like Dragon Ball Z games and things, and like my favorite thing was when you do a matchup with two characters and they would have like special voice
those
lines.
Interactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit like lit up my brain because I always just think of like, oh my gosh,
how would they interact?
What does Yamcha think of Chaozu? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
But
I know exactly what you mean.
And so like it's very much like I'm playing with my little toys kind of thing. But that's what I think here. It's like
two characters that
like,
really would never have otherwise had any reason to interact. Kind of have this moment, and you're like, oh,
what does Garnet feel about Greg? Like, what would Garnet and Greg
if Garnet
talk about?
and Greg hang out? Yeah.
And then we have this extra added element where it's just cool because we've got the two different worlds, like the two sides of Steven. So I could just keep talking.
Yeah, but
about
great
this
episode.
one.
But yeah, there
Incredible
were a couple moments that's like
Petey
they could have
fucking
shortened that for sure. I mean,
He could have easily just have.
it was
gone and-
literally just a juxtaposition to explain about the fireworks.
Yeah.
and then they could have
and that
maybe
they're blue ones.
they could have just had Steven say that in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, it could have had a scene just cuts with him and some breakfast burritos, and he's like, "Hey, Dad,
Don't forget about the
tonight."
fireworks. Yeah,
And he's like, Steven, I'm jerking off to Amethyst.
Steven, oh, she could be anything, Stu. You don't understand. She's like the ditto of the crystal gem.
Oh, he doesn't say she does become Greg too before she becomes.
Yeah.
And I like that
and
she
a
has
kind of weird, like flirty Greg.
yes, and
like,
she has a full head of hair, which is really fucking funny.
Yeah, but
I like that detail a lot.
great episode. A lot of implications, and yeah, I mean, we won't go much longer, but give us your favorite outro, Jim.
If I had shape-shifting powers,
Yeah, well, what would the first thing that you transform be into?
like
I have just granted you the powers. You know you can do it.
Miraculous Ladybug.
Perfect. All right, bye.